Welcome to our Wednesday evening yoga class. Now I've opened the chat, so if you can't hear or you can't see, just put it in the chat and let me know. We're going to begin in a tabletop position today. So just come on up to all fours. Spreading your fingers, pressing down into the pads and knuckles of your hands here. And just starting off with little circles, drawing circles with your hips, with your shoulders. Beginning to warm up into your joints. Feeling into any clicks and cracks. And then going in the opposite direction, drawing little circles. The circles might become a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. Okay, and they can stay here and continue these movements longer. Otherwise now we're just going to keep the toes tucked under, sit your hips back towards your heels, and stretch out through your arms, really reaching forward with the arms. You can either just stay here, melting your chest down, or you can walk your hands over towards your left side and fold over towards that left side, feeling the stretch along the right side of your body. Let's take 3 big breaths here. And staying a little bit longer, or walk your hands back through center towards your right side now. Folding over and holding here for 3 big breaths. Staying a little bit longer, or now coming back to your all fours. We're going to make our way to downward facing dog. So fingers are spread. Walk your hands a little further towards the top of the mat. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, and lift your hips back and up. Now this first down, we're going to bend the knees a lot. And just experiment with a little bit of movement with your hips side to side. Walking out your feet, pressing the heels down. Feeling the stretch into the backs of your legs, the calves, hamstrings. Let's bend the knees a lot. Lift your heels away from the mat. Keep those knees bent. Now pull your tailbone up towards the sky. Pressing that chest back. Feeling that deep stretch in your arms and shoulders, along your back, along your spine. Keep that head and neck relaxed. Stay here for 1 full breath. And then now keeping both heels lifted on the inhale. On your next exhale, press both heels down towards the mat, getting that deeper stretch into the calves, into the hamstrings. Let's do this 2 more times. Inhale to lift both heels. Exhale, press your heels down. Last one, big breath in. Big breath out, press those heels down. And then now let's inhale to look forward, bend those knees, and just slowly walk your feet forward, coming towards the top third of your mat. Just rounding forward, bending those knees, letting your belly and your thighs connect, and grab opposite elbows, letting your upper body sway side to side. Just hanging forward, left and right, swaying out any tension in that lower back and the shoulders. Hanging here for 2 more breaths. halfway lift, stretching into the backs of the legs along your spine. Exhale to fold forward. Last round, inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold forward. Now keep a little bend in your knees. We're going to bring the right hand to the center of the mat. Scoop your belly in. Next inhale, reach your left arm up. So keeping that bend in the knees so we can focus on the lower back first. Really twisting here into the lower back. Reaching your left arm up. Drawing that top shoulder back to open into the arm and the chest and the shoulder. And that deeper stretch across your spine, across your back. One full breath. Option to continue staying here, otherwise now we're going to start to straighten that left leg just as much as you can, getting a deeper stretch into those left hamstrings. One full breath holding here. Stay for the inhale, and the next exhale, lower your left hand down. Bend both knees, bring your left hand to the center of the mat. Now let's do the same thing on the other side. So your right arm reaches up, keeping the knees bent first, focusing on that stretch in your lower back, in the top arm and shoulder and chest. Gazing up to open into your neck and throat. One full breath. And staying here a little bit longer, we're now adding that hamstring stretch, straightening your right leg. Keep pulling that top shoulder back. One full breath. And stay for the inhale. Exhale, lower your right hand back down and give those legs a bit of a shake. So from here now, you can plant your hands down. Let's step the feet back to a plank position. You can drop your knees down for a half plank. Just lowering down slowly, either through a half push-up or you might just thread that chest through. Lying down onto our belly. Roll your shoulders back and down. Let's lift the chest, opening into the chest, into the lower back, pressing into the tops of the feet. If you want a little bit more for your back, you can press into your hands, coming up into your cobra pose or even upward facing dog. Let's hold for one full breath here in your back bend. Try to relax your shoulders more. Keep pushing that chest forward. Breathing into any tightness in your back. Stay for the inhale. And then exhale, tuck your toes, press away from the ground. Lift the back end up to your downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Okay, on the next inhale, we're going to lift the right leg up, 3-legged dog. Let's hold here for 1 breath. Point those top toes. Lift your right leg a little bit higher if you can. Press the left heel down. Stay for the inhale. And then exhale to lightly step your right foot through between your hands. Just taking as many steps or shuffles forward as you need before dropping the back knee down. Crescent lunge. We're going to press into that front foot. Bring your hands to your hips first. Sitting those hips down. Keep your chest open. Start to feel that stretch into your left hip flexors, into the back of your right thigh. Maybe this stretch is already enough for your hips today. But if you'd like a little bit more, keep your right hand to your right hip. Bring your left arm up on the inhale and then exhale, tip over towards the right side. Feeling that deeper stretch into the hip flexors, but also adding a side stretch along our waist. Keep your chest lifted. Hold for 1 breath. And then come all the way back up on the inhale. Exhale to bring both hands now to the inside of your right foot. Wriggle your right foot out to the side, almost to the outside edge of your mat. Finding your lizard lunge, just for 2 breaths. Staying here on your hands or your fingertips, or coming down lower if you've got a little bit more space in your hips today. Getting into the inside of the right thigh and right hip. And then staying in this version of lizard, well, now we're going to come to the outside edge of that right foot. Just roll out to the outside of the foot and let your right knee drop away from you. Now you're going to feel a deeper stretch into the inside of that right thigh, but you're also going to feel it into the outside of the right hip. I'm going to hold here for 3 breaths, letting your leg get a little bit heavier, drop a little further away with each exhale. And staying a little bit longer. We're now coming back to center. And you can bring your right foot back to the center. By standing to those hands, lift your back knee and step it back. Either straight to a down dog, or you can flow through your vinyasa if you wish. When you come back to your down dog, take 3 rounds of breath to shake out the hips, feel the difference in those 2 sides. Come to the second side, lifting the left leg on the inhale, 3-legged dog. Holding for 1 breath, feeling that stretch into the hamstrings, into the hips. And then next exhale, lightly step that left foot through between your hands. Take your time. Staying longer, or keeping your left hand to your left hip, right arm reaches up. Exhale, tip to your left side, stretching deeper into the right plexus along the right side of the body. One full breath. And then staying longer, or coming back up now, and bring both hands to the inside of your left foot. Okay, just shuffling that foot out to the outside edge of your mat. Maybe sitting the hips down a little bit lower. You might notice a really big difference in your left and right sides here. Just breathe into it. Stay longer, or come to the outside edge of your foot now. Let that knee drop away from you. Feel that stretch into the outside of your thigh. Deeper stretch into the inside of your hip. And 3 breaths. Coming all the way back to center. And pressing down into your hands now. Step your left foot all the way back, downward facing dog. Again, optional vinyasa. You can shake out those hips left, right. Slowly lower those knees down now. Just sit over to one side, bringing your legs in front of you. Okay, so just shuffle forward. Bring both legs out in front of you. I'm going to keep the knees bent here first. Grabbing a hold of your calves or your ankles or just wherever you can reach. Try to pull your chest forward towards your big toes. And then when you exhale, keep reaching your chest forward towards your toes, round forward. Coming into another forward fold. But this one, you might feel a deeper stretch into your back body from that lower back, continuing up along your upper back, your shoulders and your chest. And stay for 3 breaths. Maybe you find you can roll a little further forward, fold further forward, and straighten your legs a bit more to deepen the stretch into your hamstrings. Staying here a little bit longer still. Well, now you can slowly make your way back up and give those legs a bit of a shake. Okay, so from here now, we're going to come into a reverse tabletop position. This is a really good pose to help to strengthen into the arms, open into the chest and the shoulders, strengthen into your legs and your glutes and your core. So we're bringing the feet back. Keep your feet about hip width apart. Fingers are pointing forward, but if this feels uncomfortable for your wrists, you can point your fingers back. Ideally, fingers point forward towards you though, and your hands are around shoulder width apart. When you come up, if it feels like your knees are going over your toes, just bring your feet a little further forward. But we're going to keep the chin towards the chest. We're going to press down into the hands, into the feet. Stay here for the inhale. And then when you exhale, press down into the feet, into the hands, and lift your hips. So using the strength of the quads and the glutes and your core, and your arms and your shoulders to lift those hips up higher, creating a flat plane with your belly, with that front body. Holding for 1 breath. And then you can slowly lower all the way back down. And give your hands a bit of a shake. Just notice how that felt. This time I'm going to add a little bit more. We're going to add a glute stretch. So we'll come into the figure of 4 first, bringing your left ankle over your right knee. If this is really uncomfortable for your glutes, your left glutes, bring your right foot a little further in front first. And let's focus on flexing this top foot. Hands behind you. And you can just push that left knee away from you. You might feel a bit of a stretch into these left glutes here. And maybe this is just where you want to stay today. Try to keep your chest open, pressing down into your hands, like you're puffing up your chest. If you would like to stay in the stretch, then do so. Otherwise now, we're going to come back to that reverse tabletop, keeping our legs in this position. So we're just going to press down into that bottom foot, press into the hands, and lift those hips again. You notice your hips want to dip over to one side. Try to keep them level. Keep pressing the knee down, lifting the hips, keeping them even and level and square. Hold and breathe. One more breath. And then you can come all the way back down. Good job. Now let's switch sides. Bring your right ankle over now. Again, adjusting the position of that bottom foot. If you need to, push the right knee away. Just stay here, focusing on the stretch. Now, if your wrists are feeling a little bit tight, you could even just come onto your fingertips here, releasing those wrists for a moment. And you can just continue staying here, just targeting those glutes and stretching them out. Or we can add that little strengthening with the reverse tabletop, fingers pointing forward or back, Pressing into your hands, pressing into that bottom foot, lift your hips. Chin towards your chest, make sure you don't let your right hip dip down. One full breath. And then staying or coming all the way back down. Okay, and now just giving your hands a bit of a shake, a bit of a wriggle. Okay, and then we're going to come all the way down to lie on our back. Shuffle foot, make sure enough room behind you. Just hug both knees in towards the chest and rock left and right here, giving your back a bit of a massage. Squeezing the knees in, giving your abdominals a bit of a massage. Let's find a twist and a quad stretch to release. Bring your right foot down. Let's find that figure of four position with the legs again. Left ankle crossing over. But wriggle your bottom foot to the outside edge of the mat this time. Open your arms out to the side. And then when you exhale, drop your knees over towards the left. So using this top ankle to guide your right knee a little bit further down. You're going to find a twist into your lower back, but you're also going to feel the stretch continuing down along the psoas, your right hip flexors, your right quads. Turning your head to look towards your right hand. 5 deep breaths. Slowing down your breath after all the strengthening. Calming your mind again. Stretching back out. You can stay longer than 5 breaths, or you can make your way back to center and just switching across of your legs, doing the same thing on the other side. Right ankle over your left knee, wriggle that left foot out to the side, and then drop your knees over to the right, gaze to your left. Five deep breaths, breathing into this other side of your lower back, psoas, hip flexors, quads. Remember, there's an option to stay long, or you can make your way back to center. Knees in, rocking left and right again. Happy baby. Take a hold of the outside edges of your feet, or just grab a hold of your ankles or your calves if you can't quite reach. We're trying to open the legs out to the side. Push your heels up. At the same time, pull your knees down towards your shoulders or your armpits. And we're just rocking left and right here. Still massaging across your back, but also getting this final stretch into the hips, the groins. This is a good pose to help you finish the day, helping to release all of the tension in your hips and your legs. Massage out any knots in your back. And just bringing the soles of your feet flat onto the mat, can open your arms out to the side again, and then drop the knees left to right, a little windscreen wipers, and find a little twist. If this isn't enough for your lower back, you can also find another twist. So maybe keeping your knees together, lifting the feet up, dropping your knees all the way to one side and holding here. Back to center and drop them to the other side. Hold here. And then coming back to center and taking any last few movements before you find a place where you're comfortable for a final breathing exercise, just a very short exercise. So you might like to come to your butterfly with the soles of your feet together, knees wide. You might extend your legs completely along the mat, or you might sit all the way up. So I'm going to sit up just so you can see me better, but you don't have to sit up, you can just continue lying down. So whichever position you're in, relax your shoulders away from your ears. Let's place our hands onto our belly. And take a moment to use your hands to feel the natural movement in your belly with each breath. Now we're going to slow down the breath. So let's inhale through the nose, breathing into the belly for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale through the nose, emptying from the belly. 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale into the belly for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale from the belly for 4, 3, 2, 1. Continuing this rhythm, use your hands to feel that movement in your belly. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do just 4 more rounds. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. So 3 more rounds. It's counting in your head. Using the hands to continue feeling your belly fill up and expand. And then your belly soften, empty. With each in-breath, you're filling up your whole body with energy, with positivity. with each out breath, you're emptying your body of any tension, stress, negative energy. Feel free to just continue here, repeating as many rounds of this little breathing exercise. Whenever you are ready to come out and complete your practice, you can let go of any control over your breath. And just blinking your eyes open to arrive back into the room. Namaste.